I need you to listen carefully because cases like this don't usually get told, at least not by people who are still dealing with the aftermath. If you walk home alone at night, consider this your warning. What happened to me started on an ordinary road I'd walked 100 times before, and somehow that made everything worse. I thought it was just another late walk home, another night I'd forget by morning. But something was waiting for me out there, something that noticed me long before I noticed it. Ever since that night, nothing has felt normal. Not my home, not my sleep, not the dark outside my window. I wasn't alone on that road, and whatever followed me home still hasn't left. Before everything went wrong, my nights were painfully normal. I'd walk home after work along the same quiet stretch of road, half listening to a podcast I never remembered, and half wondering why I hadn't found a better job yet. It was routine, boring, predictable, almost comforting in a pathetic sort of way. The streetlights buzzed, the neighborhood dogs barked at nothing, and I joked to myself that if anything ever tried to kill me out there, it would probably trip on the cracked sidewalk first. I never thought of the walk as dangerous. If anything, it felt like the safest part of my day. But looking back, there were signs. Little things I ignored because exhaustion makes you blind to anything that doesn't threaten your paycheck. A flickering street lamp. The strange silence between houses. Shadows that didn't line up with the trees. I didn't take any of it seriously. I should have, because that was the night the road stopped feeling familiar. It started with a sound I couldn't place. Not footsteps. Not wind. Just a soft, rhythmic clicking, like someone tapping a coin against a bottle. It echoed faintly from behind me, then stopped the instant I turned around. The street was empty, too empty. Even the dogs stayed quiet, like the whole neighborhood was holding its breath. I told myself I was imagining it. Long day, tired brain, nothing more. But as soon as I started walking, the clicking came back perfectly timed with my steps, like it was copying me. Tap, tap, tap. Probably just some old AC unit dying, I muttered, trying to laugh it off, but the sound didn't fit. It felt too deliberate, too aware. When I reached the corner and the streetlight flickered overhead, I saw something worse. A shape standing far down the road, completely still, not walking, not moving, just watching. Later I learned that moment was the shift where everything changed. I just didn't realize how far in I already was. I kept walking, pretending I hadn't seen anyone, but every instinct tightened like a pulled wire. The clicking had stopped, replaced by something worse, soft, uneven footsteps that didn't match mine. They sped up when I sped up. Slowed when I slowed. Whoever was behind me wasn't trying to hide. They were trying to mirror me. I glanced over my shoulder. The figure was gone. The pavement behind me was empty, but the footsteps kept coming. Hello? I whispered, hating how shaky I sounded. No answer, just breathing. Quiet, almost curious, hovering behind me. I tested it. I walked faster. The footsteps quickened. I stopped. They stopped instantly, like they'd been waiting for the cue. A cold realization crawled up my spine. Was it chasing me, or did it want me to notice? My heartbeat thundered. Every part of me screamed to run. And looking back, I should have. I really should have. I crossed the street without looking, hoping the sudden movement would throw it off. For a moment, everything went silent. I almost convinced myself I'd made the whole thing up until the footsteps returned, closer than before. Too close. Like it had followed me across without hesitation. My pulse spiked. I cut through a narrow side path between houses, a shortcut I never used at night. The air felt wrong there. Heavy, dense, like the dark itself pressed against my skin. I walked faster. The footsteps followed, dragging slightly, as if something was pulling its weight unevenly. Don't look back, I whispered, but fear won. I turned. At the far end of the path stood a figure human-sized, human-shaped, but its gait was wrong. Its feet didn't land in steps. They slid, then jerked, like it was learning how to walk by watching me. Most people think I'm exaggerating here, but this was only the beginning. Because when I tried to run, I realized something horrifying. It wasn't walking toward me anymore. It was gliding. When it slid beneath the next street lamp, I finally saw enough to know it wasn't a person. Not anymore. Its posture was twisted, like someone had assembled a human from memory but got the angles wrong. Its head tilted too far to the side, as if listening for something only it could hear. Its arms hung stiff and backward, like the joints were confused about which way they were supposed to bend. My throat went dry. Against every instinct I had left, I forced out, "Why are you following me?" It stopped. Its head snapped toward me with a sharp, bird-like twitch. Then its mouth opened slowly, impossibly stretching into something that wasn't a scream or a grin, but an imitation of both. I still don't know if it understood me. I'd say now, if I could laugh about it. But in that moment, when its body jerked back into that grotesque imitation of a human stance, I realized one thing: running wasn't optional anymore. It was my only chance. I ran harder than I ever have in my life. My lungs burned, my vision blurred, my legs felt like they were sinking into the pavement. But behind me, there were no footsteps, no panting, no effort. Just that steady, unnatural glide-keeping pace like distance meant nothing. I sprinted down the last block toward my house, every porch light glowing like a lifeline. When I reached my door, I fumbled the keys, dropping them twice. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I finally shoved the door open and slammed it behind me. I didn't turn on the lights. I just pressed my back to the wood and prayed I'd outrun it. Then, a tap, the softest tap. Right on the other side of the door, patient, almost polite. It knew where I lived. It had followed me all the way home. And the worst part? It didn't try to break in. It just stood there, waiting. Sometimes I think I should have stayed outside. Maybe letting it reach my doorstep made everything worse. I spent the rest of the night pretending it hadn't happened. I locked every door, closed every curtain, and sat on the couch convincing myself I was overtired, stressed, imagining things. By morning, everything felt normal again, too normal. Like the night had been a nightmare I hadn't fully shaken off. But the second night proved I was wrong. Around midnight, I heard it again, soft footsteps circling the house. Slow, deliberate, like it was memorizing the walls. Then came the scratching at my bedroom window. A gentle dragging, rising and falling, like it was tracing my name in the glass. This is the part one never told anyone. Because the truth is, it didn't stay on that road, it attached itself to me. And it isn't leaving. I've tried moving, changing routines, staying out until sunrise, but none of it matters. Wherever I go, it finds me. Some nights I hear that faint tapping on the walls, reminding me I'm still marked. Other nights I see its warped silhouette at the end of the street, standing too still, waiting for me to come home. I'm telling you this because I don't know how much longer I can pretend my life is normal. And if anything like this has ever happened to you, tell me. Maybe someone else survived this then. Maybe I'm not the only one it chose. Just remember, if you walk home alone at night, pay attention. Sometimes the things that follow you don't stop at the road.